Tell us a bit more about Clustal. I mean, what is Clustal? How did you come to develop it, and what do people use it for?
Right. So so Des originally developed the first Clustal when he was a PhD student in Dublin, and their group was working on HIV, evolution of retroviruses and pathogens, and they needed alignment software. This was back in the 80s, so this was slow computers. And though there had been previous work, he was able to create software that essentially combined steps which people hitherto have been running individually, one after the other, and he could put them all into one program. And because the computer is so slow, you would not have very many sequences, and it would sort of run all night and stuff. And he wrote a Fortran program. He updated that a few times.
And this would compare different sequences that people had generated?
Yeah, so for example, if you were interested in HIV, well, there's other retroviruses, and therefore if you wanted to see, for example, you might want to line up some HIV proteins with other retroviruses, and there's various reasons for doing this, but one of them is the amino acids in the proteins that are conserved are either structurally important or functionally important, and therefore I'm still today using alignments all the time to try to ascertain where function might be in protein sequences. We often nowadays have structures. We might have had structures in those days, and then the function. A lot of the function is on the surface of the proteins. Most proteins, maybe some of them have internal function too, and therefore you're interested in the conservation on the surface. The conserved patch on the surface is doing something. So if you don't know what it's doing, you have a target to work on. There are many other purposes. I mean, the evolutionists are just making alignments in order to study evolution. This is still a major activity today. And if you think it's still in the viral theme, you're looking at things like coronavirus evolution and where SARS-CoV-2 has come from and so on. All really important things that you have to do. So lining up.
Sequence alignment is really fundamental to being able to turn sequence data into knowledge.
Yeah, it's fundamental to modern, what I would say, biomedical science, which is the era we're in now. I was a molecular biologist. Yes, and we caught that wave of sequencing, and so this is rather nice for my career, and I guess the three of our careers, because we had provided this tool that was so widely used and so highly cited, it became EMBL's top citation.